The Indonesian government has announced it is providing the HPV vaccine for free as part of the national immunization program. The move aims to reduce the risk of cervical cancer, especially among women.
However, many may not understand how important and effective it is to get the cervical vaccine. So let's further discuss more on that with the obstetric and gynecology specialist, Dr. Bram Pradipta. Hi, Dr. Bram.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, Dr. Bram. Yes, we are great, thank you, doctor. So can you tell us, doc, more about the cervical cancer?
Okay, cervical cancer is cancers that attack cervix. Cervix is part of the uterus that protrudes into the vagina. It is one of top 2 most cancer in the world and in Indonesia with breast cancer.
Okay, and what is the importance of this vaccination, and what's the ideal time to get it? At what age?
Okay, it is important because around the world there are 26 women dies every day because of cervical cancers. So approximately 1 every hours there's 1 woman die of cervical cancers. And we know that the cause is HPV, human papillomavirus. So if we can prevent HPV infection, hence we can prevent the cervical cancer.
So it is safe to say that when someone receives this vaccination, then they won't be infected with the virus? Is it safe to say that?
Even if they are infected, they have a natural antibodies that prevent it to spread even further.
I see.
I see.
So I guess this goes to the question, how effective is this vaccine?
Okay, the effectiveness is around 98 to 100%. So it's quite effective for HPV infection.
All right. So who should or should not get the HPV vaccine, or is it for everyone?
I see, good questions. The one that should take is every woman. That actually is better if they haven't got into their first sexual intercourse. So it's for 10 to 14 years of age. It was given 2 doses.
Okay.
With 6 months in interval. Okay. The one who should not get the vaccine is if they are have already got the cancer, or if they are infected with HPV before, or the third one if they are allergic to the vaccine itself.
All right. Doc, you've mentioned before that the effectiveness of this vaccine is around 98 to 100%, right? Now, and you also mentioned that
That's right.
it is best to be given to a woman or a girl who have not been in a sexual intercourse or is still sexually inactive. Now, my question is, if they are already sexually active and then you give the vaccine, does it affect the effectiveness of the vaccine?
We can actually test first if whether or not they have been infected with HPV with DNA HPV test. If they are not haven't been infected with the HPV, it is still effective.
Oh, I see.
And Doc, you mentioned before about someone that shouldn't take the vaccine is someone that actually allergic to the vaccine. So how do you know actually you are allergic or not to this vaccine?
So there are some kind of adjuvant that is given inside the vaccine. It's called aluminum magnesium sulfate. So if you are allergic into it, so it's best if you're not taken the vaccine. Or if you've taken the first vaccine and then you've got adverse reaction like blister or severe fever, that means that you're allergic to it. So it's not advisable to take the second one.
Okay. But can you please explain the side effect of the vaccine in general?
Okay, in general, if you are not allergic to it, it's actually a local side effect like a fever and then a little bit of swollen on the site of infections and then pain on the site of infections, but mild pain. But if you are allergic to it, it will be doubled or tripled the effect.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now, I would like to go back to the previous question, actually. So what happens if a person already has it before, has the HPV, has had an HPV infection before? Does that person can get any type of vaccine or other medication to prevent the cervical cancer from happening?
Okay, if you are already infected with HPV, it depends what type of HPV virus that you get. If it's 16, 18, 31, 33, which is most increasing risk to cancer, that means you are more susceptible to cancer. So you have to take pap smear test each year.
Okay. And do you need also the booster to for this kind of vaccine?
Okay, up until now, till 15 to 16 years of research, the antibody is still quite high, so you do not need any booster up until research until now.
Doc, there are still people who are afraid to take this vaccination. How can you ensure them that this vaccine is safe for them to take?
Okay, the vaccine has been circulated for 15, 16 years and it's been proven safe unless you're allergic. And it has a high success rate to 98 to 100%. So it's very effective. And it can prevent cervical cancer, which is one of the two most deadliest cancers that kill women in the world. So you should take it.
Okay. And Doc, and last but not least, what else can we do to actually protect ourselves from cervical cancer other than getting vaccinated?
Okay, this is another good question. Okay, the cervical cancer is actually a primary intervention. There are also secondary interventions, which you can take pap smear tests annually, so every years. And then you have to decrease the risk factor for cervical cancers. The first one, you should not change sexual partner. And it is advisable not to smoke because women who smoke have increased risk factor to 3 times to get the cervical cancer.
Oh, all right. I heard that there's a difference, Doc, regarding the frequency of taking the vaccine. Let's say for people who is not sexually active, you only need to give the vaccine twice. Is that correct? And for those who is sexually active, they're required 3 doses of the vaccine. Could you please correct me if I'm wrong and explain?
Okay, so if you are more than 14 years old, your doses should be 3 times. So 1 times now, another one's a month later, and then 5 months later.
Okay.
But if you're in the age range of 10 to 14, you can only take 2 doses. So now and then 6 months.
So it's based on age.
So it's not whether
right?
or not you're sexually active. Yeah, it's based on age.
Thank
right?
you, Doc. Thank you.